The first time I noticed him was in Hartford during the Monday morning rush. I was standing at the corner of Main Street and Asylum Avenue, pressed between strangers, the air thick with exhaust and impatience. Everyone looked the same, blank faces, phones glowing, bodies moving on instinct. That's when I saw the smile. It wasn't wide or exaggerated. It was subtle, controlled, intentional. The man stood across the street, half hidden behind a bus stop sign. He was tall, pale, wearing a gray coat that looked too heavy for early fall. His hair was dark and neatly combed, his face unremarkable, except for one thing. He was smiling directly at me. I remember glancing behind me, convinced he was smiling at someone else. But when I turned back, his eyes followed mine. The smile never left. The walk signal flashed. People surged forward. When I reached the other side and looked back, he was gone. I told myself it meant nothing. Connecticut mornings do that to you. Long commutes, too much coffee, your brain fills in gaps. But the next day, I saw him again. This time it was in New Haven, near the train station. Different street, different crowd, same smile. He stood closer now, close enough that I could see the faint crease at the corner of his mouth, the way his eyes didn't squint when he smiled. It wasn't joy, it was recognition. My chest tightened. I moved quickly, weaving through the crowd. I didn't look back until I ducked into a coffee shop and pressed myself near the window. He stood across the street, unmoving, smiling through the glass. When a delivery truck blocked my view, he vanished. By Friday, I was watching the crowds instead of my phone. Hartford, Stamford, Bridgeport. Every busy street, every crowded sidewalk. Always him, always closer. Sometimes he leaned against a building. Sometimes he stood among people, blending perfectly until your eyes found him. His clothes never changed. His smile never faltered. The worst part wasn't seeing him. It was realizing he was always looking directly at me. No matter where I stood, no matter how many people passed between us, his gaze locked onto mine as if the rest of the world was just background noise. I stopped taking public transit. I drove everywhere. I avoided crowds. For 2 days I didn't see him. Relief felt fragile, like glass. On the third night I caught my reflection in a darkened storefront window and saw his smile behind my own face. I spun around. No one, just my heart hammering against my ribs. That night I dreamed of streets folding in on themselves, intersections repeating endlessly, crowds with blurred faces, and one clear figure walking calmly toward me, smiling as the world looped. I woke up knowing something I hadn't known before. He wasn't following me. He was waiting. I started researching. Old forums, archived news, missing persons reports across Connecticut dating back decades. A pattern emerged. People who vanished in busy places. Noon, rush hour, full crowds. No witnesses. One detail kept repeating in secondhand accounts. A man, average height, dark hair, great coat. Smiling, they called him different things. The greeter. The familiar face. The man you almost remember. One comment stopped me cold. He looks more like you each time you see him. I slammed my laptop shut. The next time I saw him, he was standing beside me. I was in Waterbury, downtown, crossing a street packed with pedestrians. I felt a presence to my left, warm, close. I didn't want to turn, but I did. His face was inches from mine. The smile widened. Up close, I saw it. His features weren't just familiar. They were wrong in a very specific way. His nose matched mine exactly. Same slight curve, same scar near the bridge. His eyes were my eyes. Not identical, not yet. "You're almost ready," he said quietly, his voice calm, intimate, like someone finishing my thoughts for years. I stumbled backward. People flowed between us, oblivious. When I looked again, he was gone. That night, mirrors became my enemy. My smile lingered longer than it should. My reflection seemed slower, like it was deciding when to follow my movements. I stopped going outside, but crowds didn't matter anymore. I began seeing him in reflections. Phone screens, windows, televisions turned off. Always smiling, always closer to being me. Then one morning, I woke up and couldn't remember the last time I hadn't been smiling. My face ached. I checked my phone. Messages from friends asking why I hadn't replied. My fingers hovered over the screen. I didn't recognize my hands. They looked right. They felt right. But something about them felt practiced. Like they'd done this before. I found a notebook on my desk. My handwriting, shaky, urgent. "If you're reading this, you're already late." He doesn't chase. He replaces. Crowds make it easier. Once he finishes, you stay smiling forever. My reflection in the mirror behind the notebook smiled wider. Behind me, the bedroom door creaked open. I didn't turn. I already knew what I'd see. His footsteps approached, slow and confident. I felt his breath near my ear. "Thank you," he whispered. "You did very well this time." The room went quiet. When I blinked, I was standing on a busy street in Hartford again. Morning rush. Familiar noise, familiar weight of a crowd. Across the street, someone stood frozen. They were staring at me. I lifted my face and smiled.